I am Heather Marzigliano from Grace on Broadway here in Bangor, Pennsylvania, which is the northeast side. And we finished our last dresser that we were working with. I have to just take the picture. I am waiting for the hardware to come in, and hopefully that'll be in any second now. And then I'll take pictures for all you guys so you can see it. So the past week I have been working on this vanity. I only did part of it live with the Would You Bend moldings. Look how cool they are. They actually bend around the waterfall portion of this.
Dustin and Deuce, say good morning.
Hey guys! So what I did is, this is aubergine into caviar. I then took my Would You Bend moldings, which start off this color, and I painted them with caviar and then dry brushed them with aubergine and then put silver bullet dry brushed on top. And we put them on. So that's kind of where we're at now. So I was deciding kind of where we could go from here today and what I could show you guys how to do. And what I want to do is I want to add some metallic, but I don't want it to be bright silver bullet. So we're going to mix our silver bullet with our aubergine and hopefully come up with a metallic purple. That's my goal. And then, as Justin calls them, we're going to do some passion lines. All right, so we were talking about I was going to do some stripes today, and my friends are really fun, so we started thinking of new names for stripes because stripes is just no fun anymore, the word stripes. So we decided we're going to call them passion lines today because we're going to add some passion to this piece. So Margaret can't even look at me with a straight face right now.
Everybody's saying good morning. Well, I have to get something
everyone.
out. Everyone's saying good morning. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Dixie Belle.
So let's make our color first, right? Or maybe we should do our tape first because then the paint will be out in the air and it'll get messy. So let's play with some lines. So they're not lines, they're not stripes, they're
lines of passion.
Lines of passion.
Yes.
All right. These have like a pretty curve, and they're gonna get a matte black knob is what I ordered here. These are gonna get this like pretty scroll handle here. So I thought I wanted to do them on the doors, but now that I see the handle's gonna go here and we already have this, I'm thinking maybe here, because there's nothing on this bad boy. And since I added Would You Bend on that side, we can add like tiny pieces of Would You Bend over here too. So this is my tape.
Crystal Hoover Fries wants to know what's wrong with stripes. Hello from another PA gal.
There's nothing wrong with stripes. We're gonna do stripes. We just decided to call them something fun today. I like all the fun stuff. Sometimes we just talk about the same things over and over and over again, so it's more fun to give it a new name. That's all. We were just being silly.
Deb Harmon calls them plines.
Plines.
That's fun.
That's fun. All right, guys. So topic of the morning. What fun name can we give stripes?
That's for when you have like no time to talk. You're doing plines.
Yeah. You're just...
Like,
So I just put my first piece of tape down. I'm going to use this piece here to space out what I'm doing.
Marie would like to know where you get your handles and your knobs from.
D. Lawless Hardware. He has an incredible selection. They are super reasonably priced, and he ships pretty quick.
Marianne would like to know, she missed the live when you did the bottom and you painted the whole thing. What colors are on here again?
Well, I didn't paint this one live.
Oh, that's right, you didn't.
No, this one
Okay.
I just kind of started. Every now and then I start pieces without you guys.
So see, she didn't miss
You
anything.
didn't miss anything.
Nope.
This is aubergine and this is caviar. And this paint tape is fighting with me today. This is new tape. wants to be fighting with me. Okay. Doop.
It's narrower at the bottom.
Yeah, it doesn't look straight. That's better.
Oh, there's someone from Israel watching.
Oh, that's a new one.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning. Yeah, that's better. Sometimes the angles that I work at while I'm live make things like going straight a little wonky. Am I okay?
I think it might still be off a little bit.
Still be off a smidge.
I don't, maybe it's my angle.
Let's see.
Nope, you're good.
Nope,
it's my
right.
angle.
Nope.
Or nope, it's the
It's the top. It's not the bottom. It's this curve.
We have someone from the Netherlands.
Hello.
There it is.
There we go.
Yep.
Yay. Now I'm going to cut 2 pieces to get around this curve. I should have just did 1 long piece. I gotta get it together this morning, guys. Okay. I like being the morning girl, because then you guys are drinking your coffee with me, and we're all waking up together, but sometimes I'm waking up too. So I, as you can see, definitely use tape when I create stripes or whatever it is that we want to call these this morning, because it is much easier. And I take a piece of tape and I just need to take a longer piece, and then it'll make this easier, and it helps with spacing and keeping it straight. So if we have a longer piece, now we'll get both sides of that curve. Now that I'm awake, firing on all cylinders, we'll move it right along.
So Heather, where are we again in Pennsylvania?
We are in Bangor, Pennsylvania, which is in the northeast section, smack dab between Stroudsburg and Easton, in case that is helpful to some people. I don't. So that's going to be purple, 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 purple.
You could tape either corner and then work your way
well,
into the middle.
Yeah. I'm going to fudge this one over more. Hair or I'll split the difference in this one. Nope, that one's still too wide.
Lily, and the colors on the vanity are aubergine and caviar.
I can still see the lines that are underneath this, just so you guys know. So I can kind of go with that. And at this point,
Crystal would like to know, do you plan out the stripe pattern first so you don't run out of room?
Nope, sure
This
don't.
That's what passion's all about. You just jump in and
Go
do
for
it
it.
sometimes.
Yeah. We're just going for it this morning. Sometimes it makes total sense to plan things out.
And sometimes winging it is okay.
Yep.
Because that's when you get all the happy accidents.
That's when you get to play with your tape and see that it's not going to pull your paint off. All right.
I think you're good there.
Yeah, I think that's it.
Wait, no, that last one on the far right.
This one?
Nope, far left. I'm sorry. Ha.
Which one?
Left, over there, left. Yeah, I'm sorry, I don't know my right from left. Yeah, it was narrower at the bottom. Yep, now you're good.
All right. Now both Margaret and I are happy.
Planning, schmanning.
Who plans things? No, guys, in all, like, 100% honesty, in true transparency, this morning, I had no intention on putting passion stripes on this piece. I also had no idea what I was going to teach you guys. And as of 8 o'clock this morning, I was still home, not yet dressed, and chatting with all my friends from the Bells and Bow Tour on Instant Messenger. And I said, oh, boogers, I have to be live in 1 hour. And I don't quite know what I'm teaching them. And I'm not ready. And I'm at home. All bad things. So when I got here, I kind of looked at this piece and thought, I knew it wasn't done yet. I just didn't have a plan on what the next thing was going to be. So I thought, you know what? Let's add some fun stuff to it. And here we are. So I don't often plan too much.
Crystal said she likes to wing it too.
Yeah. Most times I just start the piece with the color I want and then just go from there as the furniture evolves. Unless there's something very specific that has inspired the piece, like if I know for a fact I want to use a certain transfer, then I'll have that already picked out. Or if I know I already want a certain piece of hardware, like if there's an element that's already done, I start with that and then go forward. With this piece, I knew I wanted to use all these wood bend. So I knew the tone of it, I wanted it to be darker, more industrial, that kind of stuff. But outside of that, I didn't have a plan yet. Then when I wanted darker, I started with the aubergine, knew I wanted to go to caviar, and then that's how we've been evolving. So now our stripes are mapped out. What we're gonna do in order to not have them bleed through is, this is caviar, which is the color that section already is. My paint gets all sorts of fun goobery things on it because I don't close my lids right. And we're just going to paint right over this with the caviar because it'll help keep our lines super crisp. Our lines of passion. Alright.
So Donna says, less coffee for camera person, LOL, fun painting. Is it shaky? Is that what she means?
Is what shaky?
I don't know, me.
Oh!
Jeanette would like to know how you attach the wood you bends.
Oh, hopefully we can get to some of those. But what you do is you heat them up and get them to the shape that you want. And then you use wood glue. And you glue them where you want them to go. And then you use your heat gun. Again, just a smidge. And it takes the glue and kind of heats it back up into the wood you bend and really lets it adhere nicely. Just making sure this is good and on. I don't think I'm going to even go all the way up there, but we'll cover it with caviar just in case. The wood you bends are super fun. They are super easy to use. I am an ambassador for Wood You Bend, but I'm also going to be a retailer. So pretty soon my shipment should be here, and then they will all be, well, at least whatever I have will be available on my Facebook page and probably on my website. So look out for that post. That'll be here shortly. Also, if you're going to the Belles and Beau tour, either in New Jersey or Atlanta, you'll get some Would You Bend in your swag bag.
So real quick, can you talk about what Would You Bend is for the people out there that aren't quite familiar with exactly what the product is?
Well, now that that's laid out, sure. We can, and this is why we don't plan stuff, because we can totally switch directions and do some fun stuff. So while that's drying, let me actually put my lid on so I don't continue to ruin that. What time is it? Okay, we got time.
Okay, so Katrina, she's using caviar right now.
I put caviar on over my stripes so that when we go back with another color and I pull off the tape, you get a crisper stripe because the color you used underneath is there. So it kind of seals your tape line in before you put your next color on. So Would You Bend, super quick, is their appliques. So here's some of the ones I have. They start off looking like this. They are, that one's pretty too. They are stainable. They're paintable. They are drillable. They adhere like no one's business to your piece because, like I said, when you put your glue here and then reheat this, the glue and your piece kind of get absorbed into this, so they become like one is the easiest explanation. Instead of this just being there and then your glue being kind of here and then your piece, and then this could pop off the glue gets absorbed into this. So it's super sturdy once it goes on. This is trim, so is this. The reason this looks all crazy is because I'm going to show you what it does. The trim comes in rolls, and then you heat them up, and it literally bends. And the reason that's super cool is because any applique that you can get right now, besides Would You Bend, comes like this. If I broke it, don't worry, you can fix it. It's not really broken. It would come like this, and I could never put it here because see how it would stick straight up this way, it would stick straight up that way. It would never be okay for this piece. Because you can heat this up, it'll wrap this corner. Because you can heat it up, you can take trim and wrap corners. You can take trim and wrap legs of something. You can now go around this way with it. So the options that way are really limitless. I have my heat gun here. I bought a kitchen griddle because you can use a kitchen griddle to heat them up also. It's actually just in my trunk. I didn't bring it in yet because I didn't know we were going to play with these today. I will do a live either later today or tomorrow on Grace messing with the griddle and showing you guys that. This is blow dryer kind of loud, so I apologize to anyone with super sensitive ears. It's just a heat gun. You can get them for like 20, 30 bucks. You don't need a fancy one. And we'll watch it unbend. Watch. So once it warms up and bends, it's then going to be able to go wherever you want it. And when it cools, it'll be in the shape that you wanted it in. Now, say someone walked in the door right now and I got stuck and it cooled. No worries, you just heat it back up. You can let it cool and heat up as many times as you need to in your process to get everything done that you need done. There we go. So now you see that, oh, there we go. My poor carpet, it's so bad here. I paint on it, and I do all sorts of stuff I shouldn't. So anyway, now you can see that it is mostly straight. We could keep heating it till it gets straighter. Or we would be able to cut it. You can cut it and lay it where we want. I would heat that up a little bit more if I were really putting it there so that it lays even, and then we can paint over it. You can paint it before you apply it or after. You can cut them in half or however you need to miter the corners or get them to fit somewhere. So this butterfly was one piece, but I wanted it on both doors. So I heated it up, and then I just used an X-Acto knife and cut it in half. And now it's on both sides of the door. So you can do a whole heck of a lot with them. These are little gears that we can actually put on that side here in a minute once we get this done. And I pre-painted them just because I thought it would be easier since there were so many little spots and stuff to paint them prior to putting them on. So those are my gears. Now let's mix up our paint.
So we do have one gal that would like to see the whole piece real quick.
And I'm right in the middle of it?
Yeah, no, and I don't want to move and knock the light over and, you know, all that nonsense.
Okay.
So here. Okay, there you go.
It's not the whole thing. There's a big
Good
mirror
view.
too,
Huge view.
This is most of
what
we've done. We're good?
Yes.
Okay.
So Amy would like to know if you heat it after you paint, does it bubble the paint?
You have to be careful not to get your heat gun like on it. So you're going to stay further back when you heat it once it's on here.
And Sherry would like to know if you've ever mitered them to see how it works.
Yeah, you can. You just heat it up, and then you can use even scissors to cut your corners, or to use an X-Acto knife or even a little razor blade. They're very soft, so it's super easy to cut them. So you really don't need anything extra special. What was I doing? Oh, we're mixing. That's what we're doing. So this is aubergine. It's our main color.
Oh, thanks, Lillian. She said the lighting is perfect.
Oh, that's
so
awesome.
That's
yeah, we got lights for you guys. Yes. I invested in some lighting so that you guys can see better. Because I started to realize that even though my store has these great fluorescent lights, it's not always amazing. All right.
Marianne Quick would like to know what you did use to highlight the wood you bend.
I painted them all solid caviar. Then I dry brushed with aubergine. Then I dry brushed with silver bullet, while my aubergine was like a tiny bit wet. So I kind of dragged it through.
And there's one more thing while you're mixing these two together. There was a woman who had asked about the process that you're doing on the bottom. You did the layer of caviar, laid out your tape, and then did another layer of caviar. And that was to prevent like a lot of bleed.
Yeah.
Right. So you started saying it, and then we all got sidetracked.
We all got playing with other stuff.
Yeah. So just to answer her quick.
Yep, that's what we did.
Okay.
All right, so that's kind of where we're starting right now. I'm not sure if it's going to be right, but we'll start there. And what this mix is aubergine and silver bullet, because I want to hopefully make a metallic purple. Ooh, I think it's working.
That's pretty.
I feel like a smidge more metallic though, but I think it's working. Isn't that fun? So just because you're doing something and there's not the color you want right away, you can mix all the colors together and create whatever it is that you are looking for. Oh, that is pretty. But I think I want like a hair more metallic.
Donna, Heather's painting a vanity this morning that actually has an enormous mirror that goes with it.
Huge.
And that open section on the top is an inlay for a mirror. Like a flat mirror, as like a countertop kind of thing.
But I'm actually going to talk to my glass company and see if they can cut me like a black smoke glass instead of a mirror for there. That's my plan. We'll see if they can do it. Well, we'll see if they can do it with my budget in mind. I'm sure they can do it if I'll pay whatever I want. But all right, this is the color I wanted in my head, and I'm super excited that we were able to make it.
So the wood you bend will work on multiple surfaces,
Oh,
right? Like mirrors, glass, all that good
for
stuff.
Sure,
okay.
For sure. 100%. And all we use to apply them is just regular old wood glue. It can't be an expanding kind, just glue. So I use just regular Gorilla Glue. And you don't even need like a whole heck of a lot of it, just enough for the backing. So this is the color I created. It's pretty, right?
It's very pretty.
Yay. And I think that'll be very complimentary to the wood you bend we already put on.
Mm-hmm.
So
2 questions here. When you're layering the paint with the multiple layers, the paint lines are going to be raised a little bit. Normally, just a little. You can kind of feel. How do you smooth? On your lines of passion.
Oh.
How do you take that away when you're done with your piece? How do you make it so that it's nice and smooth?
I sand all mine, but to be honest, I kind of let my stripes alone. If they're a little bit raised, I let them be a little bit raised. Because sometimes having different dimension to the piece works also. So, because the metallics, I don't oversand my metallics. So if I do metallic stripes, I don't mess with them. I just let them have a different texture. Alright. So, but I also try not to do like 800 coats of paint either. Like you don't want it to be like super thick. So, that helps too. I'm backwards, I feel like. Hold on. I have to scooch back this way. I thought I could paint backwards, but I can't.
Holly would like to know, when you're mixing a custom color, how do you make sure you have the correct mixture each time?
That's why
That's a good question.
And it's also, I typically mix custom colors just for accent areas because it's easier to match in smaller doses than trying to do an entire piece and then 5 months later someone saying, oh, I want that color again. But if you have to do that, I would just take notes of how many parts of one color you used versus the other one, and I would write it down. So like this one, we used 2 parts Silver Bullet and 1 part Aubergine at the end. So if I love this color, want to keep it forever, I would put it on like a notepad so that I remember what I did. Because the odds of you remembering what you did a month down the road, I promise you're going to forget. So...
And what brush are you using, quick?
This one is my Dixie Belle Mini Angle. And we're just going to go right in here.
Oh, that's super pretty.
See how excited we get when plans actually work out when we didn't have a plan to begin with? We're like, yay,
ooh.
Our random idea works.
It doesn't take much, right?
No.
It's the little things.
It really is. So, especially with metallics, you also don't need much paint, which helps in that texture question you guys asked earlier. So, you're getting a lot of definition and color without a ton of paint. And as you can see, I even kind of stamp out my paint before I'm putting it on here. Almost as if I was stenciling. I just wanted to create something down here. So we don't need a whole heck of a lot. And it should dry pretty quick, so we should be able to still even play with those couple tiny pieces of wood you bend. We'll cheat and use the heat gun so you guys can see that whole thing. And if you watched last week, this is the vanity that actually matches the dresser we were working on. And since it's all dark and moody, I've been calling it, it's Evil Twin. And I think it's super appropriate to do a dark and moody piece right in time for Halloween and October. I like to change things up. Sometimes if you go through like my page, you'll see that sometimes I do neutrals. Sometimes we keep it super simple. Oh, you know what? I didn't tape down here and I'm just going ahead and painting the whole thing. So I'm going to do this whole foot this color. That's how we'll fix that. I forgot that that's what I did earlier. See? So plans can change.
And if you hate it, you can just
Oh,
sand
you know
it
what
so
we
that
totally
the black,
do?
so that the caviar
We'll
comes
use
through.
this new color and we'll dry brush all these spots too to tie it all together. And then we'll do the whole foot this color. But you'll see that I usually work with all different stuff. Sometimes I can do a dark piece. Sometimes I do light and bright. I've done neutrals. I think it's a lot of fun to kind of switch up. Okay, so now let's do our foot. We have all these colors available. Why not have fun with them? Right? Of course, this one's like way underneath here. Oh, thank you, tape. This one's just too tiny bit. Okay. Maybe purple metallic should be a thing. This is pretty. Okay, now my brush is still kind of at like a dry brush at this point because I just used it for all of that. And I'm going to fix that one spot. So maybe we'll just, super simple, go back over these. Ooh.
That looks beautiful.
Look at that. That's pretty. And we'll add our new purple metallic in here. And we'll go with all the sound effects. Because what is painting without sound effects? Do you guys make sound effects when you paint? I do all the time. And we usually have the radio on. Sometimes it's kind of weird in a live because it's so quiet. It's like a library in here right now. Oh, that's really pretty.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we'll just like quick.
I love it. I'm going to paint everything.
I'm going to paint everything this color. I do.
You know what?
What?
The mirror.
Yeah, we're going to do, not the whole, no, that'd be too much, the whole thing. But it has lots of this stuff on it, so we'll see, guys. We'll
that would
play
be
with the mirror.
super cool.
Alright, so now this is painted. It looks fine. We're going to take our tape off.
Okay, big reveal.
Big reveal. We're going to hope I didn't screw it up. That's always fun when things happen on live video. Always fun. Oh, that's cute.
That is cute.
I love it. Which is good because I made it. So hopefully I love it. Hopefully someone out there loves this and wants to take it home one day. Alright, so now it's just about dry. So I will show you. We'll add a couple wood you bend so that this side can match that side. They're going to end up alternating though because I put those wood you bend on first and they're here. And this is going to end up being black on that side. So the stripes are going to be, the passion lines are going to be a little different on that side. But it's okay. It'll all work together. So they're on this corner here. And now we're going to put them on that corner there. Although, you know what I did here? That we could get these off now if we heat them up.
That's a fun feature.
I don't know if I'm brave enough to try that on camera. So
that's like a practice application kind of thing.
I'm going to practice that and see if that works out, and then I'll let you guys know. So I have them here, and I have them here, so I want to stagger them, so we'll put them on this side. And I'm going to take paper towel. I use paper towel all the time for everything. I don't know about you guys, but I'm a huge fan of paper towels. I'm actually going to use it to help me with my wood glue right now. Alright, so I I'm going to start with this one here. But see, it can't go there because it's not straight. So we're going to bend it. And then I'm going to put this one right on the bend. And then I'm going to put this cute little guy here. So that's the plan. So let's heat this guy up. I think my griddle is going to help with the little things too.
So Carmela sees it. She says it's very steampunk theme.
Thanks,
and that's
exactly,
what I was going
for.
Yes.
And I was so excited because I've never made a steampunk piece. And Solly, the owner of Would You Ben, sent me all these steampunk pieces and kind of challenged me to do a steampunk piece, which is always fun to step outside your box and try something new. And I'm having a lot of fun with it. So thank you for getting the inspiration. That makes me so happy. Okay. So, oh, you know what I got? I got kitchen tongs for teeny tiny little pieces. Because you have a griddle, you could do this too. But I've learned that I am clumsy, and I figured that this would be the easiest way to do tiny pieces. So we're just going to heat it up. Sorry for the noise. I want to make sure to get it nice and warm. It doesn't usually take too long. Okay, see, look how cool that is. Isn't that awesome? So while it's pliable, we're going to add our wood glue. Just the tiniest bit. We don't need a lot. Like one little goober. I use paper towel to just kind of spread my glue out on my whole thing. This glue dries clear, so even if you can see it once you put it down, it's not the end of the world. It's going to dry clear. And we decided to put this here. So we put it down, and then we're going to bend it. And hold it for a couple seconds. Just how we want it. Whoop. And now we're going to use our heat gun, staying further away from the paint than when we were heating this up. And we're going to kind of help keep it warm and dry. So when we heat it up with the paint, with the glue on it, further away, what we did is we helped the glue dry faster, and we also helped the glue dry to this and get sucked into here. So it's creating a much better mechanical bond than any other applique you're going to find. No other applique is going to suck the wood in and create this mechanical bond for you. See, look, I could literally open the drawer using the applique. That's insane. It didn't pop off. How funny would it have been if it did?
I was thinking that,
but
and I didn't want to say it.
It worked. I trusted it, and it worked out.
So Donna would like to know how long they stay pliable.
Until they cool. And then at worst case scenario, if it starts to cool and harden, you just heat it back up again. You can let it cool and reheat and let it cool and reheat as many times as you really need to in order to get the job done for you. So I'm going to use, I guess tweezers would work too. These just felt bigger, so I grabbed them from Target. They were like $8. I was going to take my ones from my house, but then I realized that sometimes I have to cook dinner every now and then. So I got new ones for the store. Which is also funny because I bought a griddle for the store too, and I don't even have one at my house. All my kitchen stuff is used for refinishing furniture. No, I cook dinner. I do. I feed people. I really love that metallic purple, and I'm hoping Dixie Belle is watching and seeing how pretty metallic purple is. I want to paint the whole world metallic purple now. Okay, so we are pliable. See? Whoop. It actually feels like warm rubber. We'll do like that. Use my paper towel and just kind of get it where it needs to go. I'm a little messy with it, but it's okay. Okay. No, let me get a little bit of extra glue where I was holding it. Now we're going to put it here. And I'm going to bend it around this curve. So since this entire thing is a curve, I'm going to hold it for a couple extra seconds before I get the heat gun back out. Just to give it a little chance to grab a tiny bit. There we go. Okay. Now we're going to heat it up and let it be there.
I have to read you the cutest comment from Denise Stoker. My 1.5-year-old grandson approves and likes watching you. He keeps kissing my screen. LOL.
Aww.
Stop it. That's so
Stop
cute.
It. That is cute. Hi. Ready? Mwah.
Aww.
I kiss you back.
And Marie would like to know what you would use the griddle for.
So the griddle, instead of heating, like, see how we used all these pieces? So instead of heating up each one and holding it and that kind of stuff, you could literally lay them on the griddle and let them warm up. And then when you pick them up and use them, they're already bendy.
Oh, Pam answered too. Thanks, Pam.
Hey, Pam. All right. So we just have this little guy left. We're going to put him there. And that's kind of a bendy corner too. Even though it looks straighter, there's still that arch. And just let you know, like, there's really not too big of a difference there. I'm going to have to touch back up right here a little bit because I got some of our super pretty new color on it. But I'm not worried about that. That'll be easy enough to just go back. You know, every now and then you do have to go back and touch things up. When I was working on the drawers, I painted it with the drawers in. So I got some paint here. I'm going to go back when I'm done. I'm going to sand that back off. Like, things happen and they can always be fixed. I kind of messed up here and took some of the paint off when I was screwing around, so I'll fix that. And that's important. Once you think you're done with your piece, you always have to go back over and kind of double check yourself because things could have happened and you just want to touch things up before they're, like, completely finished. So I'm going to put this one on, but we are actually over our time by 2 minutes. So while I'm doing this last one, if you have any last questions, now would be your time to shine because we were having so much fun. We went over our 45 minutes. And, oh yeah, just real quick, I know there's a question, but next week, we're on here now every other week. So next Tuesday, we will be on Grace on Broadway's page.
So Kathy wants to know if a Teflon skillet would work.
Yeah, like, oh, wait.
I think she's asking, I'm not sure, but I'm wondering if she's referring to, like, you know, the Teflon coated, like if the coating on the pan or on the griddle would have any effect on the product.
I hope not. I got
like, I don't know.
I got a
Mine
non-stick one. Why don't we play with that?
I guess we'll find out
in a little while on Grace. We can pop on and mess with it. I don't know that I would use my stove if that's what she's asking. I would use the electric one because for 100 different reasons. I don't but really too because you're gonna have like a temperature control on it, and if you throw it on your stove, there's gonna be no temperature control, and
then there might be a fire.
So I definitely would use an electric griddle and not anything on your stove. Or a hair dryer or a heat gun. think everyone would agree that fire is bad. Okay. So there's that. I'm gonna finish up the other side, obviously off camera because we're at our time. But I'll get out of the way so you can see where we're at so far. And I think it's going to be so fun. And I can't wait for it to find its steampunk princess who's going to get to do all of her super awesome makeup in front of it. So thank you for being here with me. If you want to learn more from us, me and all my friends will be in New Jersey on November 3rd at the Belles and Beaux Tour Conference. There's still tickets available. You can go to our group, Belles and Beaux Tour. That's free. We're all in there all the time. I will be live on Grace later. You can hop over to Grace on Broadway, follow my page, like my page. Sorry, I'm not supposed to say those things. For Facebook's algorithm. Dixie Belle doesn't mind if we tell you to go there, but Facebook gets weird. But we'll be there next Tuesday. So if you want to watch next Tuesday at 9, that's where we're going to be. All right. I will see you then, guys. Bye.